Niall Stanage with us now, White House columnist for our partners at The Hill. Good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you.
Thank you. We'll get to the Joe Biden part here in a minute. On the ceasefire, is this another case of Joe Biden sort of living in the past, that the world has moved on from the Israel-Gaza conflict and now worried about Hezbollah?
I mean, I don't think that he's realistic in thinking there's a ceasefire coming soon. Yes, of course, persistence is generally speaking.
He said it was going to be on Monday.
Months ago,
on a Monday in April. But
exactly, and has constantly said we're on the brink of this ceasefire, which has never actually arrived. So obviously that's a problem. Obviously another part of his whole policy was to try to contain escalation. That pillar of the policy has also been pretty heavily eroded.
Yeah, there was reporting from the Wall Street Journal, pretty significant reporting on this, that Biden administration officials said it was Hamas that was the impediment to the ceasefire, saying that every time they got Hamas to agree to something, and they would get the Israelis to agree to it, then Hamas would renege. At what point does the Biden White House sort of move on from this as an issue?
I don't think there really is moving on from it, honestly, Leland, in part because it is a massive world issue, but also because, as you know, it divides the Democratic Party up the middle, divides the left from the pro-Israel element.
Just to that point, in terms of a ceasefire, I just heard from Kelly Meyer, who was at the Kamala Harris rally. We didn't hear it on the live feed, but there was some protesters, pro-Palestinian protesters. They weren't talking about a ceasefire. The chant used to be ceasefire now, ceasefire now, ceasefire now. Now it's calling for an arms embargo. Things have escalated. Yeah,
they have. And I think the fissure that I was talking about in the Democratic Party has grown deeper, has grown more bitter. Now, Kamala Harris has tried to work around that by changes in tone, but no real changes in substance. I think that's why the demonstrators that you're talking about and that who Kelly saw are making those demands.
All right. Move on to this, I think, sort of far more consequential moment. Joe Biden in the cabinet meeting, not really as an observer to sort of say hello, but actually as a participant. We're going to play back-to-back Biden turning the meeting over to his wife and then what she has to say. Take a listen.
Today at the top of our meeting, Jill's going to give an update on the House initiative, White House initiative to fundamentally change the approach and fund how we approach and fund women's health services. So I'd like to turn it over to Jill and for any comments she has. And it's all yours, kid.
I'm here, my first time at a cabinet meeting, to thank you for the incredible progress we've made on women's health research, all in less than a year. Joe directed federal departments and agencies to prioritize women's health research and innovation, and you responded.
All right. For so long, the White House has been incredibly defensive over Joe Biden's health. Obviously, we talked about that. Joe Biden was always thought to be the gatekeeper, but kept really back in the shadows. Is this kind of giving up the ghost?
I think so, to a degree. I mean, look, the White House is in a very tricky position. Everybody knows that if you put it starkly, Joe Biden isn't running again because he's too old. He's the sitting president of the United States. Therefore, logically, he is too old for the position that he holds, or at least debatably so. And that impression is clearly fostered and clearly further pressed whenever a First Lady appears to be, not officially, of course, but appears to be almost presiding over a cabinet meeting. It's not a party point, I should say, Leland. I mean, if Melania Trump had done that, or if Michelle Obama had done that, there'd be uproar.
If Melania Trump had done that?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
All right. Excellent point.
Good to see you,
my friend. Thank you very much. Have a great weekend. Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.